Cracks in brick, cracks in block, sticking windows or doors. Settling or sinking foundation, it's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
This is the afternoon edition of the Daily Weather Briefing video. This is for Wednesday, the 14th of December. I'm James Spann. We're doing this a little earlier than usual today. It's about 1:35 or so, and I thought we'd spend some time talking about what's to come. This won't have all of the typical elements we do here, but will be more of a kind of a live update feature for our friends in Southwest Alabama. So let's go right to the radar. And again, you can see we got some really active storms in progress a little south and west of the state. Now, for Alabama, we have no severe weather in progress right now. Again, this update about 1:35, 1:40 this afternoon. But rain, absolutely. A lot of rain is falling across the northern and central, really the whole state. And again, you can see we got some spots with heavy rain. Some of the heaviest rain is falling just northeast of downtown Birmingham, and just a large mass of rain over here on the western side of the state. And quite frankly, that's a good thing in a way, in that that's going to keep the air relatively cool and relatively stable. We think for the northern part of Alabama, it's just a rainy night tonight. But to the south, the air becomes unstable, and with tremendous amounts of shear, we're going to have a tornado problem, and especially for the southwestern counties of the state. In fact, let's take a look at the radar coming out of Jackson, and you can see all of these tornado warning polygons over here. And there's a bunch of them, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So over a half dozen. I've been watching the Weather Service chat pretty carefully in Jackson, and I have not seen any major damage at this point from these cells that are moving through southeastern Mississippi, but understand it always takes a while for the damage reports to come in after a tornado touches down. Let me stop it here a little bit and make a few comments. First off, this northern warning up here, the one that kind of adjoins Sumter County, Alabama. This particular tornado warning is in effect for the eastern part of Kemper County until 2:45 this afternoon. But this storm is really becoming elevated. There's just not much instability up here, basically no surface-based instability, so I just don't think that a warning is going to be needed for Sumter County, Alabama. The ones that we have to watch are the ones down here south of Interstate 20, and these are surface-based, and they could certainly produce a tornado. In fact, we'll take a look at some of the signatures here, and these look pretty nasty. I mean, you can see the velocity displays on the screen there, and we got that one that's south of Meridian. This one will be right here, is moving up that way, and that could require a warning for southern Sumter. Again, I'll show you the instability here in just a minute. Sumter County is right on the edge of a rain-cooled air mass and the unstable air down to the south. Another very good signature of a tornado right here that's west of Quitman, Mississippi, and again, that's moving northeast as well. And if we keep going down, you can see other very impressive tornado signatures. We've got one down here that is located here. That is between Ellisville and Waynesboro, Mississippi, and that's moving northeast as well. So these are pretty ominous-looking signatures, and from time to time we have seen debris being lofted. So, again, a very active situation over parts of eastern and southeastern Mississippi as we speak. But let's look at, first off, the broad composite radar. And you can see just those problematic supercell storms lined up across southeastern Mississippi. And again, for North Alabama, just a big rain mass. So we have a tornado watch in effect, and this is a PDS watch. And whenever we say it's a PDS watch, that means that this is a particularly dangerous situation. And in Alabama, the watch includes Sumter, Green, Hale, Perry, Dallas, Marengo, Wilcox, Choctaw, Clark, Monroe, Washington, Mobile, and Baldwin counties. That's in effect until 8 o'clock tonight, and that's the core concern for tornadoes this evening. We'll take a look at the convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and again, you saw it mid-morning that they upgraded the risk in southwest Alabama to a level 4 out of level 5. That's the red. And again, that's basically from York over toward Camden, Evergreen, then back toward Mobile. And that's going to be the greatest concern for the next several hours. We do have a level 2 out of 5 up to Tuscaloosa. And Tuscaloosa, it's I'd say there's a decent chance Tuscaloosa stays in stable air, but I can't guarantee that. It's a close call. But the greatest concern initially, it's from near Demopolis down to Mobile, that broad zone there. And again, you got Birmingham and Anniston in a level 1 out of 5, a marginal risk, but I think the air is just going to stay rain-cooled in Birmingham and Anniston, Gadsden, and points north. So the key, it's the instability. So let's look at this. This is where we stand now. And where you see the colors on that map, that's where the air is sufficiently unstable for severe storms. Once you get away from that, the storms are elevated. You might hear some thunder over North Alabama, but again, no surface-based instability, but you need that for tornado formation. And the surface-based instability is up into extreme southern Sumter County, almost up to York and Livingston, then down over toward Meridian and points south. And that will slowly work its way north. Let's take a look at modeling here. This is valid this evening at 7 o'clock, and this is off the HRRR model, the high-resolution rapid refresh. And you can see that instability axis as far north as US 82, Tuscaloosa down to Montgomery and Eufaula. And again, the better instability values are south of there, but there could be a few severe storms as far north as that zone tonight. But again, I don't want you getting too hung up in the colors and risk areas. Just understand if you're in the southern part of Alabama, you've got a chance of severe weather tonight. Now, let's talk about areas to the east of that the level 4 out of 5 moderate risk. We have an enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, and I know that's confusing, and I totally understand, and you're right, those should be flipped, but that's beyond my, pay grade, if you will. But we have a level 3 out of 5 risk over to places like Luverne, Greenville, Troy, Andalusia, Enterprise, and Dothan. And understand that is significant. So if you're not in that level 4 out of 5, if you're not in the red, you're thinking, okay, well, we won't have any problems. Understand, that's a significant threat there. So again, everybody in South Alabama has to pay very close attention to the weather this evening and tonight. And we've got, again, the level 2 out of 5 risk up to Tuscaloosa and Opelika, and that's pretty much the far northern extent of this. And again, it's kind of questionable as to how far north that instability goes. So in terms of the timing, for the west and southwest part of Alabama, the window opens up at 2 o'clock, and that's in 14 minutes. 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock tonight, and that would be the zone from Demopolis down to Mobile. For the south-central part of the state, Montgomery down to Andalusia, that would be 4 until 9 p.m. And then for southeast Alabama, places like Dothan, Ozark, Eufaula, the window between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. tonight. And again, it's going to be important that you can hear these warnings. I want to stress that. So let's go back to the radar. And again, let me just say this for those that are new here. I have a real job, which is being the chief meteorologist for the ABC affiliate in Birmingham. And I have to take care of all the newscasts and do weather coverage, obviously, for them, which limits the things I can do for the out-of-market places. We do the best we can for them, but again, we'll be live on people always ask, when are you going live? Well, we're live now here, of course, on YouTube and Facebook, but in terms of the television side, we're live every day at 4 o'clock, from 4 until 6:30 with the evening news block, and we'll be over in Studio A on television at that point. And, of course, if we have any warnings in our TV market, that's when we go on the air and we stay on the air. And our market includes Greene and Hale counties in West Alabama, and again, they are in that tornado watch. Sumter County is in the Meridian, Mississippi television market. Perry County is in the Montgomery television market. It's kind of in a fragmented area down there, but again, Greene and Hale belong to us. And we do out-of-market coverage when we can, but we can't justify interrupting newscast and regular programming for places where people cannot watch us on television. But again, just wanted to kind of let you know that for a lot of people that are new here, I do have a real job involving television, which requires some work on that side over there as well. But again, let's go back to the radar and kind of talk about where we are. And again, for those of you just joining us, we're live at, 1:48 Central Time, and we're watching these supercell storms over southeastern Mississippi. And again, the Weather Service in Jackson, in fact, let me put the velocity on here. I tell you what I want to do. I want to go to a single display, and I'm just going to show the velocity only, which I think in this case might tell a better story. So, again, this storm up here in Neshoba County, Mississippi, this warning is in effect until 2:45. That's for about the next hour. This is for eastern Kemper County, and I'm sure they're going to cancel that way before 2:45. It's getting into a zone where the storms are elevated. The air is stable, so I just don't expect that warning to stay in place long. This is of greater concern here, and again, this is a pretty strong indication of a tornado right here, as you can see, about 8 to 10 miles southeast of downtown Meridian. And again, that's moving in this direction. And if that continues on that track, obviously, it could cross into Sumter County. This is the Alabama-Mississippi state line right here. This is Sumter County, Alabama. This is Lauderdale County in Mississippi. But remember, the right in through here, this is where the air becomes stable, north of that line, north of US 80. And again, as the storm moves north of that into the more stable air mass, that will probably mean that it should weaken as that happens. Again, I'm watching the warnings coming out. They're coming out fast and furious. So again, if you're in southern Sumter County, Cuba, York, Belmont, Bellamy, areas down toward the Choctaw County line, just be aware that's a pretty impressive signature here, and we'll keep an eye on that very carefully. We've got another rotational signature down here near Stonewall, Mississippi, not quite as intense as the lead one there. And then if we go down, you can see this one down here looks really nasty. This is a pretty strong indication of a tornado right in through here. This is located west of Waynesboro, Mississippi. And again, these are all moving northeast today. And that's basically crossing US 84 right now. So again, we've got these multiple tornado warnings in effect over here for the southeastern part of Mississippi. And again, the one up here in Kemper County, I'm just not too concerned about that. We are obviously concerned about this one right here, which you see, which is southeast of downtown Meridian. And we'll see if that thing can hold together trying to cross into Sumter County, Alabama. And again, that's an example of some of the things that we'll be watching here this afternoon. Again, it's 1:51. Again, I have to break away from this live coverage to go do some radio here. If you only knew what I had to do in a day, it would be an interesting walk for others to walk a mile in my shoes. I do the weather on 24 radio stations, and that requires obviously some time and work as well. On the television side as well, and now we have to write the afternoon blog discussion. But again, once we obviously have severe weather in our market, all that stops and we go straight to the severe weather coverage. So if you're just joining us one more time, let's kind of give a summary here. We've got a tornado watch, and this is a PDS watch, meaning this is a particularly dangerous situation, and this is for mainly southwest Alabama, but as far north as Sumter, Green, Hale, and Perry counties, and the counties down to Mobile and Baldwin County, and that's in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. And these storms that are rotating over southeastern Mississippi will be crossing into southeast or southwest Alabama fairly soon. And again, based on the forecast parameters, we could see a few violent long-track tornadoes. And goodness, here we are 2 weeks away from Christmas, or less than 2 weeks away from Christmas, and you just don't want that. But this is tornado season. If you're new here, this is when they happen, November through May. And the key message is that we've just got to be, you've got to be in a position to hear the warnings. And if you're watching these videos, there's a good chance you are. But one way you can help us is to tell your friends and relatives and neighbors and those in your circle of influence to be really paying attention to the weather tonight if they're across the southern part of Alabama, and especially the southwestern part of the state. And, of course, the baseline, it's this, a weather radio, and I hope you have one. Your cell phone is great. You're probably watching this on your phone right now. But when we have a tornado emergency, a violent tornado is down, cell service is generally disrupted, and your phone becomes a brick. And that has nothing to do with cell service. And the other thing that we really want people to do is to be sure you got helmets for everybody in your safe place. That's crucial. Most of the injuries in a tornado, it's above the shoulder. And a bicycle helmet, a batting helmet, a motorcycle helmet, a football helmet, that really, really mitigate your chance of being seriously injured or killed in a tornado. And we also like for people to have hard-sole shoes and air horns for everybody in case you have to walk over a tornado debris field, or if you need help and you can't vocalize your need for help, you can squeeze that air horn and first responders can find you. And again, this is important too as we go through this evening. Remember, you can be a hero in this event tonight. If you know anybody in one of these polygons, call them or text them. Be an extension of what we do. And a lot of people just don't pay attention. And I understand that. We're busy. It's a busy time of the year. But if you know of anybody that's in a tornado warning polygon this evening, let them know. And again, you can literally be a hero and part of the process here. So one more time, let's go back to the radar before we wrap up this segment. And again, for those that would like to watch our coverage, if we do go live, and I really don't know if we're going to need to for this television market. We're just on the far northern fringe of this. But if we do, the YouTube channel is ABC 3340. So just subscribe to that. And that's where the live is for our TV coverage during tornado coverage. So youtube.com/ABC 3340. And also they broadcast it on their Facebook page, ABC 3340's Facebook page. So again, we've got this strong indication of a tornado here. It is now east-southeast of Meridian. And that could be crossing into Sumter County. And if that happens, Sumter County belongs to the Meridian, Mississippi television market. But we'll do some stuff on the air here on the TV side. But again, that will be a Meridian County. And if by chance it makes it over into the southern part of Greene or Hale, then that's when we go wall to wall here. And Marengo County belongs to Montgomery. Again, this is kind of a part of the state where it's a challenge to reach people because it's in between all these TV markets. But again, we've got potential here for a tornado right here. And let's quickly look at the correlation coefficient product. And we really don't see a well-defined TDS. That's a noise field right there. So at the moment, we're not seeing that. But understand this is a place where radar coverage is just horrible. The radar beam is far, far, far off the ground by about, let's see, I can look and tell you real quick here. It's 6,000 feet off the ground from Jackson. The beam is way off the ground, and we have a hard time seeing low-level features because it is in between radars at Jackson, Columbus Air Force Base, and Birmingham and Mobile. It's just equidistant, really. But clearly, we've got something going on aloft there, and that could be a tornado down. And again, we'll watch that carefully. That tornado warning is set to expire, looks like at 2:45 this afternoon. And so on that note, I hate to wrap it up here, but I've got to wrap up this segment. And again, we will be over on the TV side at 4 o'clock on ABC 3340 in Birmingham. And, of course, if I can, I'll jump back on here. We just kind of do the best we can. When you walk a mile in my shoes, you're juggling a lot of balls in the air here. So just be weather aware if you're in the southern part of Alabama tonight, especially southwest Alabama, and we will keep you advised. That's it for this update. And we'll have the next regularly scheduled weather briefing video tomorrow morning. And again, join us on ABC 3340 News here at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Be safe, and God bless.
Sinking driveway? Call Alabama Professional Services. Settling patio? Call APS. Uneven pool deck? Call APS. Collapsing stoop? Call APS. Cracking sidewalk? That's right. Call APS. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS. Call Alabama Professional Services today.